You get ground chicken or ground turkey. If you don't use pork, you can even do beef if you want. This is, you know, for any flavor meat, except pork if you don't eat pork, okay? This is ground chicken. You know I deboned mine and I ground it up myself. It's cheaper, and it's cheaper. That's the only reason. Well, you're cooking it. It doesn't have oil like ground beef does, so you're gonna have to add some. I would just add like maybe a tablespoon, maybe 2 tablespoons. You don't need a lot with this dish, but even if you overdid it, it's not gonna make much of a difference. And you're just gonna ground it. Have any of you guys wondered, if this has happened to you, why your family won't eat a casserole that you made? And to you, you think it's amazing. Do you know why that is? For some of you, not all, some of you just can't cook. Some of you don't know seasonings and how to mix them, that they can be mixed, or, you know, you don't know how to use them. Okay, because I've done this, that's why hey, I can speak on it because I've done it. I am not a professional chef up here telling you, do you know why you do this? Because you do this wrong. That's not me. Okay, I'm telling you because I've done this to my family. All right, so I'm speaking from the other end of the spectrum, not from the professional side, where I've made tons of money making amazing, delicious meals. That I'm not coming from that side. Okay, coming from the other side, where I've jacked up my family's food and tried to get them to eat it, and they weren't having it. Okay, now we got that out of the way. Do you know why they won't eat it? Y'all probably know, but don't want to admit it. These are really big chunks. I want them a little bit smaller than this, but this is on a really low burn because I'm chopping veggies, like I said. Okay, the reason they won't eat it is because, well, you're doing your casserole, which is what we're making. We're making a casserole. So you guys get the bright idea. You're gonna disguise broccoli, or you're going to disguise cauliflower, or green beans. No. No, 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 no. Unless that is a creamy chicken and broccoli dish, you can do that. Creamy chicken or creamy beef and cauliflower, you can do that. When you're doing something that is versatile, using chili rellenos and all that, can't do that. You can't do it with a lasagna. You can't do it with because that's what lasagna is. They call it what they call it, but it's a casserole with pasta and a meat sauce. That's what these are. They're gonna have a meat sauce. You can't be putting funky stuff in. Okay, what am I putting in here? We are going to put up diced carrots. I was a little iffy on the celery, but I think celery will go. Carrot, celery, yellow onion, potatoes. Now the potatoes I'm using, you guys, I made them yesterday. I made a big batch because I had work on my teeth. I need to eat soft food, which is why these are going to be really small. And the potatoes are very thinly sliced, but they have garlic and onion in them. So since the boys didn't eat them all, and there's a lot, I'm just going to dice them up, and they're going to go in here too, because they will be amazing. If you don't have any, just dice them up the same size. Dice them up the same size as these, okay? This is my celery that was going to go bad, which is why it's not all green and pretty. It was going to go bad, so I cut it up. These are my carrots. These are my white onions, but I'm only using half of these. The other half is going to go into a stew for tomorrow. And I already put some carrots away. But get your veggies that are going to go bad. These 3 are okay to put in there. These go with most soups, by the way. But I'm making a casserole, but I want the flavor to be the chili relleno. This is the star. Okay? Oh my God, she's using a can. Yeah. I can't get my garden to grow. I can cook like a son of a gun, but dang if I can get my garden to grow. My garden ain't doing nothing. I just did my potatoes. Alright, so we are going to do we are going to do About a teaspoon of black pepper. A teaspoon of salt. Teaspoon of garlic powder. Teaspoon of onion powder. And the star of the show, a whole tablespoon of cumin. Yes, tablespoon. And you're gonna get all the flavors mixed up. Now, you might be saying, isn't that a lot? No. Because your eggs, your vegetables, this has to season all of it. Okay. Put some water in there. This is going to season everything. All that flavor in there. Plus remember, your potatoes have garlic and onion, and it does have a little bit of salt and pepper. Not a lot though. I didn't put a lot in it. I didn't know how I'd be feeling after the surgery. Alright. Okay. At this time, you put in your onions, your carrots, and your celery. You can omit the celery if you want. I think it'll be fine in here. I'll find out soon, but I think it'll be okay. Mix it up. Don't worry about, see that brown down there? See all that? Don't worry about that. It's going to come in when we put some liquid in. We are going to put a little bit of liquid in here. Yes, we are, but we ain't putting no water. I saw some of these tutorials and they put water in there and I went, why would you ruin your food? Okay, now these are my leftover potatoes, okay? And what I did, I just gave them a quick dice. You do not put these in until you are ready to put the egg in and throw it in the oven, okay? Because these will turn to mush. I usually cut mine up into diamonds, you know? You cut the potato in half, and when you cut it, you got like little diamond looking thingies. Or little squares, whatever. This happened to be you cut the potato in half, and when you dice it, it looks like diamond, but the end is round. Okay, I made a lot yesterday, so I'm freezing some to throw a quick breakfast together for Christopher. See, I put them in baggies and dated them, and they're going to go in the freezer. And cause he'll eat those in the next week, but they won't last in the fridge that long. So these ones is about, I'd say it's about 2.5 cups, but they're not going in right now when I put in the sauce because I need the carrots and the onion and the celery to cook in the sauce for about 15 minutes, 10-15 minutes. These will get heated up in the oven when I bake the whole casserole, okay? We do not want these to cook and turn into mush. Okay, so what sauce am I using? Right there. You can use it's the green chilies, you guys. Same ones we're using. Now, you can make your own chili sauce. I'm not going to. See the bottom? As soon as you put that liquid in, what happened? See what happens? So don't trip when your food is sticking to the bottom. The minute you put the liquid in, you see that? That liquid picks all that goodness right back up. Okay? And I can't scrape it out because I'm holding the camera, but you can bet you as soon as I hang up this camera or put it down, I'm going to get me a spatula and I'm going to scrape the rest of that goodness out of there. Yes, I am. People on YouTube do it. They probably just throw their cans away. I don't know. I'm just saying. But I will be scraping out that can. You saving your cans? This was my enchilada can. That's a big can. These are my little cat cans. This I can grow food in next year. This I can put holes out here and here, and this is going to be a fire if I need. I got all kinds of stuff to do fire, but just showing you. Okay, so you know I'm using these chili rellenos, right? So what I did was I held my thumb here and I got all the juice and put the juice in there. That juice is amazing. Now, some of you are being shown to put your chili rellenos on the bottom. I'm not doing that. I'm chopping them up because I want them all throughout my casserole. I don't want them just on the bottom. They'll put them a layer on the bottom and then they'll put some on top. Mine's going to be throughout. Alright, so there was I think 4 or 5 in there. And I open them up, line them up, dice them up one way, dice them up the other. That's it. And they're going to get mixed in with everything. Okay, now you got your 6 eggs, right? And in them 6 eggs, you're going to put 3 tablespoons, quarter cup. Okay, now you're going to put in a cup of buttermilk. Okay, so now the ladies I've seen do it on YouTube, they'll put the chilies on the bottom, and then they'll put the meat mixture, and then they'll put cheese, and then they'll put the egg on top, right? Well, we're not putting the chilies on the bottom. And I know that we need a bottom. So we're going to put egg first on the bottom, because this egg will be the bottom. Is this going to brown in there? No, and I'll show you why in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to put a good 4 or 5. Now, big spoons. Okay, now I know that when I put the meat in here, the meat is going to fall down and go to the bottom. But it's going to be mixed in within the egg. So the egg will be at the bottom. If you just have this at the bottom, then you're just going to have sop and meat at the bottom. This will help make it into a bottom. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? I hope so. Okay, so in this, I'm going to put the chili rellenos in there on the bottom and put them so that there are a few on the bottom. I'm going to put them all on the bottom. Put them just like that, right? So when you put the meat in there, now you could mix it in with your meat and all that, I guess. Get your potatoes. If they are leftover already cooked potatoes, this is when you want to put them in the meat mixture. Okay? Mine just came out of the fridge. I diced them up, and now they were in the meat mixture. You don't have to have potatoes, but you want a filler. The vegetables are good, but the potatoes are going to be the filler. The eggs too, but I mean, come on. I'm just saying, do what you want. Put potatoes in it. Alright, now let's dish in our food. I'm not going to like mix it in that egg. I'm just going to put it on top of that egg. 1 scoop each section. Now this is a small casserole dish, so I'm going to be able to let some of this sit here and get a little cool down. And I will be able to make this again next week. So I'm going to freeze it. Now it is going to get in, and you see the egg popping up? Don't trip. Don't worry about that. Pat it down. See that? You patted it down. Listen. This is all going to work together for your good. Alright. See how much is left out of that batch? I did a cup of celery, a cup of carrots, a cup of onions, about 2 cups of potatoes, 1 can of chili rellenos, diced up. And the chili rellenos are not in the meat, okay? The chili rellenos are on the bottom, and they're going to be in my egg mixture when I put the egg in here, because that is going to put it throughout. I don't want to put it in the meat mixture because the meat has all kinds of seasonings in it and stuff, and I'm separating it a little bit. I'm not just putting. I've seen some people, they just put it right on top. You could do that, but I'm putting it within the whole egg. All right. So we got our meat for the bottom. Now let's do the cheese. Now this is Monterey Jack. Okay. This is what this is supposed to be made with, Monterey Jack. You can use. I've seen people use the other cheese. However, like for instance, when I make green. Hey, I'm recording. Thank you. When I'm doing green chicken enchiladas, it's Monterey Jack. When I'm doing beef red enchiladas, it's yellow cheddar. It makes a difference. If you don't think so, go make the 2 yourself and tell me. When I have tacos, I either do yellow. You could do either yellow or white or mixed. When I say white, I mean Monterey Jack. But I'll make the boy, because I don't buy that much Monterey Jack because I don't cook with it a lot. But The boys, I'll make theirs with yellow cheese, and I'll make mine with Monterey Jack. The one time I made my husband with Monterey Jack, he didn't want yellow cheese no more. He's like, oh man, give me that one. I was like, dang it. All right, so you're gonna put your layer cheese right there. I've seen people put like 4 cups of cheese. Don't be doing, you don't need that much cheese. That's insanity. That's way too much cheese. All right, so there we got that stuff going on. Now here's an idea, and some of you mamas probably already thought of this, because I thought about this before, but I think I'll do that with the next video. You can put corn tortillas on the bottom, and you can layer it. You know what I mean? You can layer it just like enchiladas. But then it'd be enchiladas. No, it's still going to be this. You're going to have the flour tortilla, but it'll still be a chile relleno thingy. But the flour tortillas will add density to it. We'll add more food. We'll add weight to their bellies. You know what I'm saying? All right, I'm doing it. We're putting tortillas. It just makes sense to me to do it. Okay, so I started ripping them up. And then I was like, well, dummy. Okay, you know how like when you make chicken and eggs in the morning, you know, you fold it in half this way, and then this way, and then this way. And then you got all your little triangles, and then you fry them in the fridge, or in the fridge. Fry them in the frying pan, and then you put the egg in it and salt and pepper, and then you got your chips and eggs. My dad used to make that for us every morning, because that's how he can get us to eat eggs. Okay, then you're going to come in here. And I swear, if one of you people just waking up says, oh, she cut him into triangles, Illuminati. I swear, if I could jump through the computer, I'll strangle you. Don't be coming on my channel acting a fool, okay? Y'all know this is the best way to cut up tortillas. All right. So, don't be acting all crazy. There's like waking up, and then there's crazy. Don't be getting crazy. All right, so we got all of them in here. Now, I did put one here, and then cut one in half and put it there and there, but there were spaces missing, and this just made more sense, okay? Yes. And had I thought about it before, I would have already had these in 2 or 3 layers, but I thought about it earlier, but I decided I wouldn't do it till the next one. But while I'm talking to you, I said, I'm going to do it now. Okay, I'll tell you why I decided to do it now. Honest Injuns. Okay. On the bottom is the egg. As I put the mixture into the, I've never made this casserole before in my life. Never made it. I make chile rellenos all the time. I make casseroles all the time, but I never made a chile relleno casserole. Okay? I watched the ladies online, and I saw things that I would do different. Not that theirs don't taste good. I'm sure they do. I wanted mine different. The way I would do it. Now, when I put the egg in the bottom, and then I put the meat, I saw how quickly the meat integrated into the egg. So then I put the layer of cheese. Then I started looking at the egg with the chile rellenos in it, and I started thinking, if I put that right on the cheese, it's going to seep down into the rest. So what's the point of the layers? There ain't none. You ain't gonna get no layers. You're just gonna get you're gonna get a quiche. These ladies are making quiches. I'm sorry. It is what it is. It's quiche. Okay, so we now have the tortillas in there for the first layer. Now we're going to put the egg, because there's nothing holding the egg up to sit on top as a bread, right? Because that's what chile relleno is. It's a bread. It's an egg white fluffed up that is encased around the chile relleno with the cheese inside, and you put sauce on top. So they're trying to make that a casserole, but what they're making is a quiche, because it's all getting mixed together. That's how you make a quiche. Exactly what those ladies are doing is exactly how you make a quiche, except that cheese in the middle. But that cheese is gonna melt. It's gonna disappear. So I'm doing a chile relleno, but I'm putting these corn tortillas in for a middle barrier, so that my egg will be separate from the meat mixture. I'll show you when it's done. But first, let's get that egg in there. All right, here we go. Now, if you know anything about cooking, I mean, a lot of you ladies would agree with me. As I'm watching them, the word quiche is what was coming to mind. They were making a quiche. That's what it looked like. That's when they were building it. I'm like, that's a quiche. All right, I can't hold my camera and dig this out. Okay, now typically you would put, I'm thinking of putting another layer and then the cheese on top. What do you think?
Yeah.
I think so. Okay, the reason I decided to put a layer on top was if this is going to be cut into a pie, it's just like an enchilada pie, but only it's gonna have the taste of chile relleno. I'm recording. So what I did was I just got a couple tortillas and I'm putting them out. I'm putting them crisscross or opposite each other. I know there's going to be a fool out there that's going to go on and say, look at them try, look at the pyramid, look at the pyramid, she's doing a pyramid, you guys, Illuminati. I just know it. I know it. Alright, now I'm getting these all, I cut them all up into these pyramids. And I think I need one more tortilla. Alright, got me one more tortilla. And we're just putting it all like that. Now I could have just laid the tortillas down, but I tried that. I didn't like the way it went. Now I'm going to submerge them. Submerge them. Okay? Get them in that goodness. No different than if you were to dip them in the enchilada sauce. Same thing. You do not want these tortillas dry. They will be hard as rock on top. Okay? You want them in the food. Now when you put the last layer of cheese, that's why I did it, because when you put the last layer of cheese on, you guys, that tortilla is going to hold it up. Otherwise it's just going to seep down into the egg. Again, you will have a quiche. We're not making a quiche. I would say a total of cheese used on this whole thing was about 2 cups, maybe 2.5. Yeah, I'm getting it all. Getting it all out of that bowl. Okay. And if you want to put some breadcrumbs on top or whatever, you can do whatever you want. It's your food. You can put jalapenos on top. I would say no, this is too spicy. Now here's the thing, y'all. Now, let me just share something with you. If you're going to be Mrs. Authentic and you're going to the store and you're going to buy some real chile rellenos and roast them and do this, do you have any idea how hot those are? You might get lucky and find some that are not, but how are you gonna know? I went to the store about a couple months ago. I was gonna make me 6 of them and chile rellenos and put them in the freezer because I'm the only one that eats them, and I didn't want to have to go through that hassle of making them all the time, so I thought I'd freeze them and heat them up when I wanted them, right? So when I got the chilies and everything, you guys, they were so spicy. I still got them in the freezer. They're too spicy to eat. Now I'm gonna have to mix them in with something else. I don't know what, like something like this or whatever. I'm gonna have to mix them up because they're too spicy. The ones in the can, you could get mild, hot, or regular. I highly suggest you use those, okay? Be careful about trying to be authentic in the store with the fresh, because you're gonna end up not eating it. Your kid's gonna be too hot for your kids. Maybe your kids can handle it. I don't know. Be careful with that. All right, so I got the cheese in there. I'm going to cover this with foil because the cheese on top will burn before it's cooked, and I don't want that. I want all that egg to cook inside. So I'm going to cover it with foil for about half an hour. In the last 15 minutes, I'll take the cover off. And we are on 375, and we're in the mountains. No, actually, in the mountains, I go to 380. Y'all live in the cities, go down, you know, California, New York, all them places. I suggest you all stay on 375. I'm going to 380. Okay, so this is after 20 minutes. The cheese is melted, but because I've had the foil on top of it, it's melted, but it's not burnt. Okay, and I don't think the middle is done. I really do not think the middle. Yeah, it's not done. It's really wet. So you're looking at a 45-minute cook time. So I guess maybe you could put the cheese on afterwards, but I put the cheese on to protect the tortillas and just to, you know, but as long as you have foil over it, you're gonna be good. So it's gonna go in for another 20 minutes. All right, I'm putting away the rest of the mixture. I cannot do that and hold the camera, but I wanted to explain to you about the water inside. Now, people that make bread, this is something you should know. When they put the bread pan in, the bread with the pan with the bread in it, they put another pan underneath it and they put water, or they just put a bowl of water somewhere inside. Because it will keep the bread moist. If you don't do that, your bread's gonna come out. And also the top will come out crunchy. If not, you're gonna just have, try it both ways and see what you come out with, okay? But, because the water helps to steam it. Well, we've got egg in there. And I want it to be moist in there, so I don't care if it steams the egg. I don't care. It's not gonna steam it that much because it's almost half cooked. But I do know that the egg on the bottom, I don't want to go and dig out, you know, a nice piece of pie in there and have it be brown. So I'm putting the water. The water protects the bottom of the pan. And yeah, we should be good to go with that. So right now I'm putting all this away, and yes, I'm scraping the bowl because I want all this goodness in there. For those of you that do not scrape your bowls, let me show you what you're leaving behind. That's how much you leave behind when you do not scrape the bowl. How much is that? Well, I don't know. Let's just see. This is a big scooper. You know these big serving spoons, right? And filled up that much of it. I don't know, that much on a cup of rice might make somebody really full, or at least happy for a moment. Just saying. All right, it's done. So the tortilla somewhat floated to the top, but the cheese never burnt. We're going to scoop out. I cut it into 6 sections here. And this is a pie. This is, I'm so excited, y'all. And I think doing the tortillas was exactly the right thing to do. Alright, I'm trying to scoop it out here. Oh my goodness, look at that. That, to me, is a pie. Okay, look at that. Can you imagine? There's only 2 layers of tortilla on top, but can you imagine if I put the meat in between all the layers? How awesome that would be then. So I think that's what I'll do next time. But so there's 6 servings. I could have made more, but these are pretty big servings. But you can clearly see all the veggies in there. I can't wait to taste it. Oh my goodness, you guys, I tasted it. I gotta be very careful because I had surgery in my mouth. But you guys, try this. Do it in layers. Oh my goodness, you guys. This is what you call a chili relleno casserole. Not a quiche, but a casserole. Call your food whatever you want. I got brownies going. I just made some homemade ice cream without gelatin or anything else. Y'all are going to get that video in a few minutes. You're going to love it. You probably already got that video before you get this one. Alright, try it, y'all. Going to love it.